Okay, y'all, so just a rundown. I like to devote my time and to acknowledge God's grace. I give him more than 10 minutes, 30 minutes of my time throughout my day. But before I started reading my Bible, I always go to the beginning of the Bible and I say the prayer before reading the Bible to ask that God help me understand what I am reading, so that when I stumble across the things in the Bible, I will really understand what they're saying. And then if I need any one of these prayers, I say this prayer before I start reading the Bible. And I always do the prayer before reading the Bible, and I always do acknowledging God's goodness, God's grace, because I have to acknowledge God's grace. And if I'm seeking guidance or in search of faith, or just when I'm in need of peace, I add those on as well, and then I start reading my Bible. I pick back up where I left off. So now we finna get into it. I'm in Genesis, y'all. I'm in Genesis chapter 22, where it says that God tested Abraham, right? God tested Abraham, and it says basically Abraham took his son and was finna slaughter him. And God was like, don't do that, don't do that. But basically the part in chapter 22 is saying that Abraham was willing to give his only son up as an offering because he was being tested. But it says right here, he said, do not lay your hand on the boy or do anything to him, for now I know that you fear God, seeing you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me. And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him was a ram caught in the thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered it up as a burnt offering instead of his son. Abraham took all his faith and trust in the Lord and did as what was needed to do, and was willing to give his only son up as an offering. He was tested. And when I tell you his faith was tested, and he did pass. He did. And by Abraham doing exactly what was needed for him to do, and by Abraham being tested, an angel of the Lord called to Abraham a second time from heaven and said, by myself I have sworn, declares the Lord, because you have done this and have not withheld your son, your only son, I will surely bless you, and I will surely multiply your offspring as the stars of heaven and as the sand that is on the seashore. And your offspring shall possess